This is Sean with Sean Miller Construction, and we're coming back to you on this project in Ocean Beach. Got a little bit of progress done here. I want to just kind of walk you through some of the things that we're doing. Hopefully give you some good information on framing tips a little bit. So this house is a 2x6 construction, and it's tall ceilings in here, 11-foot ceilings, and a lot of glass. So we have, as I mentioned before, we have quite a bit of structural seismic engineering in this house, which is kind of a good thing for this video series that we're doing. It's a more complicated framing project. So some of the things I'll point out to you here, this section of wall right here from post to post is a 6-foot shear wall, and it's a pretty heavy-duty rated shear wall. So you'll notice here we have some HD11s, which are pretty big hold downs. You see the 3/4 inch or 1 inch all thread we have down into the foundation there, which we've showed in previous videos. It goes all the way down about 8 feet down into the footing, and that obviously is going to act as to prevent the overturning forces in the event of an earthquake, which we have to think about here. So another thing I wanted to show you, we're doing inset windows, which makes it kind of nice from the outside, and an interesting architectural feature. So we do the rough opening in 2x6 and then add the 2x4 to get the, so the window will not be sitting flush with the outside of the wall. It'll sit in a couple inches, which is kind of a nice look. Right here we got a big 12-foot slider coming in. And then I'll walk you to the front of the house and we'll take a look at some of those features in the front. Alright, so here we are in the front of the house. Some of the cool features here would be, well, some of the things I wanted to show you regarding the framing are some of these crazy strong walls we have here. These are galvanized solid steel strong walls that are also here due to the fact that we have high ceilings, a lot of glass. If you look right here to your left, you can see this is basically one big window right here, 15-foot wide window that I think the top of it will end up being right about here. So it's a pretty massive window, and because of that glass, we have to have these huge steel strong walls with inch and 1/8 bolts going down into the foundation. And also, which makes it a little tricky, we have to utilize this old lumber. It wasn't really supposed to be ever moved, so we're acting as if this was the original wall that we just sort of altered to put our window in here. So we have our sill plate, our bottom plate, and our studs all out of that old lumber. And if you look in here, we framed this new wall which goes up to that 11-foot height, and you can see the 8-foot plate, the old 8-foot ceiling height, which looks so incredibly low. But yeah, that's the old ceiling, and then we have all the old studs in there. The old bottom plate, you can see that we kept the old bottom plate and added 2 inches of new lumber to give us that 2x6 wall, because the bottom plate must be there to count in the linear footage for remodeling and Coastal Commission approval. So to your right here we have another big window coming in. This is more glass. The sill will be at that same sill height from over there, right about here. And what makes this house also very interesting is that it's a post and beam basically construction. So you see the walls here, but if you look real close as we walk over here, there's a lot of posts in the walls. One here, big 6x6 here. There's one over there, big 6x6. There's posts in all of these walls, and on top of those posts we'll be placing these pre-engineered buckets, and we have about $3,000 worth of buckets going in here, and you can see the post bases that we have. And so I'll show you shortly a big stack of beams we have. We're going to crane them in here. Also, because there's a lot of glass and big open spaces, there's no interior walls in this part of the house, so we have a bunch of beams coming in here to make the span. So really interesting, some heavy duty stuff, which I'll show you in consequent videos. This here is going to be the living room, or excuse me, the dining room kitchen. And over there is going to be more living room space. Over here you can see we have the old lumber used on the sill, the window openings, and the framing, bottom plate. Here we have, I think this is HDU 5. This will be a shear wall in here. And we have 4x6 posts for our shear break. So every 4 feet where you have a shear paneling plywood, you need to have a 4-inch, 3.5-inch wide framing member for the nailing, because they want so many nails in it. If you use 2x4s, you just kind of end up splitting the 2x4 with 100 nails going up it every couple inches or something. Yeah, so strong walls, 2x6 framing, post and beam. I'll take you to the back and show you some of these beams that are going in. It's pretty impressive. Yeah, so here we're walking out the back door of the house, which will end up being really the main entrance for the homeowners, because they're going to be parking in the garage and walking up through here. This is a back porch, which will be having the second story cantilever out over this back porch, and even a little more so. I think the cantilever is another 3 feet past on the second floor. So it's kind of interesting, the whole second floor of this building, at least 2/3 of it cantilevers out over the first floor, which also the reason for a lot of these beams. And you can see here the big pile of beams down in the yard, which we're going to be craning in. I have some strong guys, but it's a little bit too much to carry. And so we usually put those in by hand, but there's a lot, so we're going to crane them in. I'll take you down and show you the pile. Yeah, we have about $15,000 in pre-engineered beams. So these are Paralam or Versalam beams that are basically like, it's almost like a sheet of plywood, like a big laminated wood beam. Super straight, super strong, definitely a higher rating than the conventional lumber. Also very heavy, and as you can see here, they make really great splinters that irritate the crap out of your hand when they go into your skin. And then back here we have another stack of even bigger beams. We're excited to lift up and get into place. So these will all go in this week, and I think by next week we'll be putting in the floor framing, and we'll have some footage from the second floor. It'll be kind of cool. Next time.